2 a day? You couldn't do 3 today, or?
No, unfortunately, they only let you do a couple, but it's good. We've had about 10, 11 days of really, mild climate. This week we're going to get a little bit of a gut check as far as having to tough out some weather, and it's good for our guys. They got to learn what it is to strain. I think, groups of guys come together when you got to persevere through some tough times, and a little heat doesn't hurt anybody.
I know you've talked a lot about the QB situation already, but it seems like it's changing day by day. What's the latest after this morning going into this afternoon?
Well, again, guys are competing. The mantra doesn't change. The guy that takes care of the football and the guy that leads our team is going to be our guy. And, every day somebody's doing something good and going up and down the pecking order. But right now there's nothing been settled. We'll get through the next scrimmage and then probably make some closer decisions.
You want this team to take the ball away, and from day one, since you took this job, that's been a high priority for you. Will we read too much into it if we say this defense that we've seen in camp is a team that's going to be taking the football away more?
Well, I think we're playing with a different edge than we played last year. When you have a bunch of young players, or even if they're not young, if they're first-time players, typically don't have the confidence, they don't have the swagger to play. It's the first time being out there, so it's hard to play at the top of your game when you're questioning yourself. Am I lined up right? Everything's happening so fast. You start feeling comfortable, and you've seen progress from guys like Jamal Ellis, Dalen Jones, Stratton Brown. Those guys are attacking the football. Malcolm, Washington was back out here today. Tank Kelly's, a year in our program. Those guys are attacking the football, and you expect that for guys to develop in your program. I think we're going to be much closer to 30-plus takeaways this year than we have been the last 2 years. And our formula for winning, we've got to do that. We've got to take care of the ball on offense, so we've got to force takeaways.
Is there a different mindset with today being the last 2 days?
Well, it's not the last. We've got Wednesday scheduled for a 2-a-day as well. But anytime we have a 2-a-day, we're going to work full pads in the morning. We're going to get after it pretty good. Physically, we finished up with a goal line period this morning. In the afternoon, we'll come back and we'll be in half pads and work a little bit more, 2-minute, not as much banging. But the physical grind of getting some stuff done, go down, rest, take care of your bodies for a few hours and come on back. I think it's good for guys to have to strain through that, particularly with the temperatures being what they're going to be.
Do you sense at this point in fall camp maybe the passes are a little bit crisper, the energy level's a little more intense? I mean, you are where you expected to be at this point?
I think we're on track. We've got a long way to go still. We got 2.5 weeks for our first game, and we've got a lot of fine tuning to do. But we've got a majority of our offense, majority of our defense, and majority of our special teams in. It's a matter at this point to start polishing those things. We still have a little bit of install to go. But I like how our team's coming together. You're starting to see a little bit of separation between ones and twos at some positions, and at others, we got really good depth. And you've got to have that because injuries are going to be part of your season, and you're only going to be as good as your weakest link. So that next guy's got to be ready to go and not be a liability when he's called to step up.
It's too classified, don't answer, but the camera on top of the helmet, what can you guys do with that? What's the whole idea behind that?
Well, we had a Fresno State grad approach us who's got a startup company that they're working with 3D video. You may have seen the SEC, I think Arkansas and Alabama through a different company are using that technology, and it's amazing. You put the camera on top of that quarterback's head, and you've got a 360-degree view. And so, from a teaching standpoint, you can stop and pause, and you know exactly where the quarterback's eyes are. But as you put the goggles on, you can now look around, and maybe those reads that he missed, he can see, very, very easily, and it's like you're there real time. It's a tremendous technology, and we're grateful that like I said, we got a Fresno State grad that's helping us out with that and trying to work through how that may be able to help us develop our players quicker.
And without that, you're just relying on imagination or memory, or?
Well, we still film things, but when you film things, that camera is only going whatever that view is, and wherever the camera operator is. This is a true 360-degree view. So if we're in the pistol and the back's behind us, if you have the goggles on and you turn around, you can see that back behind you as you're wearing it, watching the video. So it's truly like you're immersed in the film when you're watching it in 3D.
How much of a difference does it make knowing that Ford will be eligible for the first game now?
Well, the big difference is, we feel confident getting him reps so that he can compete to start. He still has to demonstrate that he's the guy, and no one to this date has demonstrated that he's head and shoulders above the rest. But it is reassuring to know that we've had tremendous help from our academic staff in trying to put the best presentation in front of the powers that be to make sure that he's getting credit for all the classes that he took at the other two institutions, and knowing that the one class that finishes on the 24th will be the final one, assuming that he takes care of business, that we should have the grades in and hopefully have everything, all the I's dotted, T's crossed before September 3rd.
And the most important pass to class is ball security?
For us out here, that's the #1 class, and it always will be.